Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you're new here, my name is Elena. I'm the homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos. Here on the channel, we talk about everything from homeschooling to homemaking, all the things in between. Today, as you can tell from the title, is a homeschooling collaboration with Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way, and we are going to talk about homeschool planning, or in my case, planning when you don't really have a plan. So in our homeschool, we have a high schooler, 10th grade. I also have 2 elementary age kids. My youngest is on the autism spectrum, so we kind of do a hybrid with him between 2 grades. And actually, we do a hybrid of grades for my daughter as well. Thankfully though, for my high schooler, most of his curriculum is open and go. If you want to see what we picked out for his curriculum choices, I will link that video for you up in the cards here and you can take a look at that. But like I was saying, most of it is just open and go, meaning that he just can pick up the book and pick up the lesson plan and gauge what he needs to do for the day. There is some hands-on stuff that mom needs to do, especially for science and his language arts, but we kind of just work around that. And the way that we do that is with our Monday morning meetings. So we meet up on Monday mornings. Most of the time it's mornings. Today, it's probably a Monday afternoon meeting, but we meet up and we go over our planners together. He has his own planner where he keeps track of what he needs to do. And then this year I've been using a bullet journal style for my planner. I do have a setup video of this and my intentions were to keep you updated on what we're doing, but we had a big transition, a lot of transitions in our life at the beginning of our school year, so I haven't got that up for you yet. But I'm hopeful those will come through sometime in the future. So if you're not subscribed and that's something you want to see, maybe consider subscribing and hitting the notifications so that you don't miss those. But I really love the ease and flow of a bullet journal because especially now, our week to week is not the same. Everything's a little bit different. We had some, like I said, some major transitions happening. And so the ease of a bullet journal kind of lets me change up our layouts for the week. So I'll sit down with him and we will have a meeting and I will go over where he's at with his different sets of curriculum with math, things like that, all his core subjects, and what is to be expected for the week coming up. This is a great time for us to, one, catch up with each other. It's open conversation with us so that he can give me any concerns or things that he feels struggling with. We also have a Friday recap meeting where we sit down together and it's just like it sounds. We recap the week, what worked, what didn't work, what we're looking forward to for the next weekend, and if necessary, any makeup work that needs to be done during the weekend, because unfortunately that will sometimes happen. I try to keep the weekends like school books free, in the sense that they're not having to do any sit down work, but if the week gets too chaotic or we've taken a day off during the week, then we use the weekend for catch-up time. In this transition, my son has actually requested a Wednesday midweek catch-up. So now we are meeting Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And when I say meetings, these are just kind of times we set aside for my oldest and I to sit down and just strictly talk school. Now, he can bring up any other stuff during that time, and usually we bring up like appointments we need to, or errands that need to be run during the week, scheduling. So it is a good heart-to-heart time, and it's a time where he knows that he has mom's attention and we can chat about what he needs to chat about. That has worked out well both for school and just emotionally. Now for my littles, this is where it kind of ebbs and flows with us. Younger two, because of the kind of chaos of life, we are doing things a little bit differently. Another curriculum that has really helped out this season, we started using it last year, is Sunlight, and this is just the language arts program. We are using this for my daughter, and it is really open and go in that the lesson plans are already all done for you. If it feels overwhelming, you don't have to do everything that they list, but it even comes with worksheets too. You just pick and choose what's best for your homeschool and your child. In this basket, I have a lot of ready-to-go curriculum. So in here, in this folder, this is a grammar notebook, and it houses a Teachers Pay Teachers grammar type things that I've already set up. I think I have a video on how I set this up. If I do, I will link it. If not, then it's probably coming. But this is, I have that in here. It's the ready to read. I think this is 2 different levels in one folder, but I have that already placed in here so we can just go through and pick out what we need to do, what lesson we need to do for that day. In here I also have, a lot of stuff that doesn't belong, like brown paper bags, but we also have our all about reading, and this one I do have a video for on how I organize the activities into the binder sheet here, but also same kind of thing, we just open and go with here. So with my littles, I'm doing a lot of back planning or reverse planning, and what that means is I'm going back in at the end of the day or in the afternoon whenever we finish up and kind of just jotting down what we've done for the day instead of planning ahead. In this season of life, reverse planning or back planning, whatever you want to call it, is working better for us. And then this way too, I can kind of see like, okay, we were really heavy on the English and grammar this week, but math we weren't so strong in. I know for sure we need to get that in next week. I do prefer personally to have things planned ahead, but again, this is just the season of life we're in right now, and hopefully before the end of the year we'll get there. And if we don't, then this is just the season that God has for us.
Now I'm going to sit down and start planning a layout for the upcoming week. Planning a layout is probably giving myself too much of a generous leeway here because there was no really plan set into it. I just kind of thought about what I needed for the upcoming week, what was going to work well for my brain, and I went for it. So this is what I really love about using a bullet journal, is that I can switch up the layouts week to week if that's what's going to work better for us. Some weeks, I'll be completely honest, it's just notes. I don't even like make a formal layout. I just kind of write down what our conversations went like with our Monday and Wednesday and Friday meetings, and jot down maybe a couple of ideas I have for my youngers. But for the most part, I thought that this would work out for this week.
Okay, so this is where I'm gonna leave the setup for today. I just went ahead and wrote the week, and then there's two events that are happening this week that I want my kids to be aware of. Election Day is on Tuesday and Veterans Day is on Friday. By the time this video comes out, Election Day will have passed, but just when we have special stuff, this is how I've done it. This section here is gonna be for my oldest son. I've not had our Monday meeting yet, but I just went ahead and came up with a little kind of planner thing here. I've got some of his subjects listed here, and then Monday through Friday here, and we'll just write down what he needs to do for each day or what we hope to do for each day. I do have some blank boxes so we can fill in extra subjects that don't get done every single day. And then this area here will be for my littles. I've done one of my kids in one color, and the other color is my other child. So my daughter's in blue, and you can see as of right now, my daughter's already knocked out most of her work. We need to do Bible. We'll do that together. But my son has a couple of more things to do. And this is just how we'll carry on the week. And then I'll put any notes here on the side. As well as down here, I have room for notes and things. So a lot of that is just kind of how we've been doing our weeks. I've just been going in and writing back what we've already done. And then hopefully that'll help me better plan or look at what we need to do for next week. And that's it. That's kind of how we're planning or not planning or reverse planning or whatever you want to call it. It's how we're surviving these days. Hopefully, I am hopeful that I will get back to eventually, like I said, at some point this year, pre-planning ahead of time. But for now, this is just where we're at, and this is what we're doing. So I hope this brings you some comfort, or at least gives you some ideas maybe of how to plan in the midst of chaos, or when seasons are transitioning and things like that. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and watching this. I will link the playlist down below if you want to see some other amazing homeschool families and how they are doing their homeschool planning. I'm sure that they are going to be a ton of great ideas. So I'll have that listed for you down below. But again, thanks so much for hanging out with me. And as always, if you haven't heard, or maybe you just need to be reminded, maybe the one to tell you that you are deeply and truly loved and so, so appreciated. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and spending it here with me. Thanks again for watching.